welcoming Henning Krueger to the stage. He's Chief Information and Digital Officer at British Airways. Great to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So, Luis, the big boss, was sat up here this morning, and he was talking about 7 billion. 100 million goes to technology. How do you get to sign some of those checks?
Good what?
Do you get to sign some of those checks for that investment?
No, actually, I think some of the partners here in the room get the money. Yeah. No, I think BA has a £7 billion pound transformation program, and I don't know whether Luis actually mentioned the part which is part of the group, IAG, and which is part of British Airways. We are a very decentralized group, so it's different maybe than other airlines. So the OpCo actually owns more or less its destiny, which is really great, also especially in the IT. So in the digital area of British Airways, it's actually 750 million.
Okay.
So it's more than the 100 that he actually gives us from the group plus the 750. So it's actually really exciting to see an airline stepping up and really pushing forward on digital investments and transformation.
Yeah. Now, we're not going to knock British Airways for investing in technology. We're delighted, but given how much is going on and how quickly it's evolving, is it enough or is it never enough?
I love the question. You should join next time the board meeting.
I should. I'd be delighted.
No, in the end of the day, it's always the balance between the money you invest and the value you can get from it, right? Personally, I believe, because I worked in the digital industry since a couple of 10, 15, 25 years, I believe deeply in the value of the digital investments which we can give back to the company by having a bit better insight into the customer, better experience, and. But still, there's always the discussion about what is the right amount of that, right? If you just look on the amount that BA invests, the 700 billion, is actually happening all over the place. And as you just mentioned, there's also a need for that. But the payback is also there. So if you, for example, just in the digital function, we are investing into resilience. We are moving out of our data center. Actually, literally yesterday, we turned it off. I can show you the picture, really great stuff. Just to power down a data center and to be happy that the data center is off. It's really great. So we move everything into the cloud, which gives us a much different level of resilience. When you look on this year's performance, flight performance, nearly no cancellations have been done because, for example, of IT outages. But it's not only outages, but it's also the resilience in terms of arrival punctuality. When you look at our arrival punctuality in a hub like Heathrow, which was always known for if you get there, you leave really late. That's kind of, we are managing overall 80% D15 punctuality, sometimes even above 90. And you might easily say you can do this by just adding more buffer into the whole equation, and then actually your profitability would go down. But we are doing both. So we have the punctuality plus the profitability, and that is because of the investments in AI, in machine learning, to put actually the buffers at the right spaces. So it pays off. It definitely pays off. And I have many of those examples.
This isn't, on my questions, or, in fact, we haven't even got to the questions, but never mind. I'm always curious to know when an airline powers down an older system and switches to the cloud. So effectively, you switch off here and you're not switching on there because you've been gradually. What's your confidence level that it's all going to work?
So let me try to answer it in a more polite way.
You can answer it because you've worked across a number of airlines in your career. It doesn't have to be a BA specific.
No, I think in the past we always talked what is the value of IT, right? But that is not the discussion right now anymore. Every company, also airlines, heavily rely on the flow of data and information, so IT. You can't work without. In another airline, which you have seen in my CV, which one, I worked at the time when the IT went totally black in one of our hubs, and we had actually the whole operation go to a standstill within hours. So what we have to think about, IT is never always up. We have to invest into BCP, second line, third line systems. So for example, what we've done in BA, for the key critical systems which keep us flying, we have second level and third level, and we also can operate without the IT being up. We have BCPs so that we can keep on flying, et cetera, et cetera. And if you look, for example, on the Heathrow fire, we would have been able to fly in T5.
Yes.
If you look on the cyber incident happening at Collins just last 2 weeks, we were able to continue our check-in.
Okay.
So we're not relying on a single thing. Having built this up in the last couple of months, turning off the data center, enacting all of the BCPs, all of this layer of security, we were confident of doing it. But while you do it, we actually discovered all of those legacy things of the past. And then you have to stop, restart again in a very, very safe and security-aware process.
Yeah.
And this was my last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was really
So
a lot of emotion.
Stress level. Okay. Now, airlines are hugely complex to operate, which makes integrating technology also complex, and that's obviously compounded by legacy systems. This is all fact. What have you learned so far about the experience of introducing new technology?
So I think the one thing is, airlines are not special. I worked in, for example, energy industry, and I heard the same story. Like, it's complex, it's legacy, it's too complicated, no one understands it. The same story is in the airline industry, and the same story when you look in the energy industry. The young attackers will come and will replace you. So your complexity will actually have to go. It's not a value by itself. So you have to be very open to the new world, which is less complex. That is true for other companies. It's true for airlines as well. Going forward, that means if you want to stay on this road, you have to go in full-heartedly. So just take the money to do the investment, go all in, and then turn off the legacy, take it out.
Yeah.
Because by that, actually, you turn out all the old processes and so on. And so the transformation is not a technology transformation, it's more a process and product transformation that we're on.
What's your best piece of advice for the airlines gathered in the room as you go on this journey?
Do everything.
Do everything.
Do it all at once.
Yeah?
Just do it. Don't think about the 5 million just to keep you alive.
Okay.
Think about the bigger piece just to jump ahead. Because the piece that you're going to build will last for the next 20 years. Buy something, create something which is in the market. Because if you try to get something which is out of market, in the niche, it will be the legacy of the future.
Yeah.
But do the jump and jump rightful.
Because it will keep you
20 years.
Yeah.
Everything you build will stay in 10 to 20 years.
Okay. Now we have these, new cohorts of customers, digital native. We also have, a significantly aging population. We're having to deal with kind of two ends of the spectrum and their demands at the same time. How are you kind of evolving the customer experience in line with those expectations?
I think this is not only a BA question, it's a question to us all, right? When you look to the young population, you kind of look on the booking.com and so on, other experience, that means actually you have to have the full experience in your hand. You stay in control.
Yep.
It's not like you give it to someone else, you like to stay in control. And especially in a disrupted situation where you are losing control as a passenger, you like to stay in control and be able to make decisions, see what's going on. So the journey we are on is to create actually a digital companion so that 100% of your journey can be managed in the hands of the customer. Still a long way to go. We do a lot of investments to have the basic infrastructure in, but on this we will build this in the future. And I think the second thing that you just mentioned is there are more and more people who don't want to do this, don't want to kind of jump all the apps and make things. I believe there is a niche for premium customers, which is more like, it's not helpline, what is the English word for it? Concierge.
Yeah.
It's like a concierge service. And especially as a premium airline, we will also in the future offer the concierge service, but not to help you out in a cancelled trip, but to help you doing something special on your journey. This is the vision, but it's also a long way to go there.
Yeah, so much more of an experience, which is what the whole industry is talking about now, whether you're a hotel or an airline or...
Right.
Yeah.
And I think we have not even touched kind of the really young customers, like the 20s, where people are connected to their Instagram account and just like to do the same as they do, and basically assume that if I go to an airline, do the same journey as the other, just with the cheapest trips, and you'll just get the answer.
So I'm going to send my kids to your boardroom, And they can talk to you about
Well,
that.
they should. It's not the hand picking. It's not the sky scanner in the future.
No,
anymore.
no, they don't mention any of those
No,
brands.
will
They
not be
mention
there.
TikTok. Okay, so this 750 million, how much of it would you say is devoted to AI? Just share with us, if you can, where are the areas that AI comes in?
Again, a very nice and good question. But the point is for me, what is AI in that context, right? And what do you need for AI? I could answer 100% and I could answer 0. Why do I say this? Number one, a lot of the technology that we are building up new, replacing legacy systems, all of the technology brings actually AI to the workplace. Think about the sales force, think about new revenue management systems, think about operational systems, crew management systems. All of them have AI, machine learning built in and make it useful for the user. So it's actually a sort of hidden AI. The second thing is, if you invest into the modernization, you make data accessible for the AI. Because if it's just spread over in the different silos, very cryptic language, etc., all of this we know, it's not accessible for AI. So modernization of the stack makes it possible for the AI to go in there. So if you just look on the pure AI, you maybe want to ask about Copilot Plus and Gen AI for all the workforce. You maybe want to ask about, so what are we doing like with specific use cases? And that is only a very small amount.
As you say, those are specific use cases. There must be an over kind of arching brief that says, you know, we want to do this in operations for all the reasons you just listed.
Yeah, and I think AI will be the future. So everything will be about AI. This will be the next big breakthrough that we have. And that's no news to the whole, everyone says the same. But we need to prepare our tech stack to be able to deliver that. So it's not like we can wait until the use cases and then do it, but we need to prepare the tech stack to be able to do it.
Now I know that if I cut you in half, it's data all the way through. I'm not going to do it,
I love it,
but I know that you are. What excites you most about the whole data and AI play right now?
So I love data, as you said. I'm a physicist, so I did all these number crunching things. So all of the technology of what we talk about AI, be it machine learning, be it regression analysis, all of this stuff, linguistic analysis, all of this has been there. The thing that is happening right now with Gen AI is, for me, like I said this already, is like the Google moment. Because 1998, or whenever the Google prompt came, the internet and all the technology has been there already, but it was only accessible to nerds like me. With the Google prompt, it was accessible to everyone. So customers, consumers, employees. And my feeling is that ChatGPT, the ChatGPT prompt is the same. It's now happening. So that's why I think the big breakthrough in Gen AI we will see right now and in the next 2 to 3 years. Okay.
Which, you know, for us traditionally in airlines and airline projects, they are much longer and much in scope. So 2 to 3 years is exciting. Let's pretend you ran the airline for a day, just you. What would be the first thing that AI would optimize, and what would be the first thing that it would break?
That's a difficult one. So, what is the first thing they will optimize? I think they will, given the access to the data, produce a 100% transparency to the customer. So you will know everything. Question is whether they like it.
Or the question is whether the airline wants them to be exposed or expose it to them.
No, because basically that's the thing. Everyone starts to optimize on its own. If we do a gate change, for example, and we have not announced it, it's because we don't want to have the people running from one gate to the other, for example. So there is a good timing to announce, to push the information out.
Yeah.
And AI would just do it all, everything at once. What would break it? I think personally the operation will break. I've worked 3 years in the operation department. While you would think that in the operation control center, a lot of things is regular work. Every plan starts to break in the morning in minute 1.
Yeah.
Because then you pick up all the delays. And the thing that actually the network controller in the operation control center can do, they can spot the exceptions. And they can work very well with the exceptions. So they know what's normal, what is the exceptions. AI is trained the other way around. It's trained about the normal, not about the exceptions. So
Yeah.
I think that's what will break.
That's what will break, which wouldn't be great, let's face
Nope.
it. Okay, if I gave you a plane, what technology would you implement on it tomorrow?
Connectivity.
Productivity.
Connectivity. Because in the moment, this is the outer space component of flying, which is good because you don't have to work. And maybe people enjoy this, but basically, every other place is connected. Today, only the airplanes are not connected. I would put in connectivity because it would just open the horizon.
But connectivity for the passengers, the operations, the whole
Everything,
organization.
but basically passengers.
Yeah.
Basically passengers.
And why connectivity? Because for what you just said, the reason that everything else in our world and what we expect is connected. And
I have, how much time, eyeball time do I have? Between 2 and 8 hours there, 2 and 6 hours if I don't sleep. This time is, in the moment, unconnected time where I cannot, as a customer, book my next trip, spend hours buying new things and so on. So it's, in that way, it feels a little bit like wasted time.
okay.
And I think the first airlines who can really break this will really get a benefit.
Great. Well, our time is up. Thank you so much. Great
Thank you.
discussion. We are going to welcome our colleagues from Fetcher and Azul Brazilian Airlines to the stage next for their presentation. And we'll be back in about 15 minutes for a panel on data.
Cool.
And we'll be here. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.